I'm Michelle Marchant Johnson, and I'm really excited about our topic today because it's so important. We're going to be talking about key landmarks and landmines in a dating relationship. And as we go through this conversation, I want you to think about any of your past dating relationships and some of the key landmarks and some of the key landmines that you may have experienced in some of your past relationships, because this can help you to be wiser as you move forward in your dating life. Don't beat yourself up for any real or perceived mistakes. Just think of them as learning and growth opportunities. And now that you know more, you can be more confident as you navigate the stages of dating. So, we're going to be talking about the three key stages of dating and what those three stages represent, and also some of the key landmines that you might experience, some of the things to watch out for or be aware of in these three different stages of dating. So let's get started. I'm excited for you and I'm excited to be with you. So, first of all, the first stage of dating is what we might call the exploratory and attraction phase. This is where you might spark a man's interest, or he might spark your interest online or in person. You might sense there's some attraction there. You might sense that this might be someone that you might want to know. This can be like a physical attraction. It could be something about a person that just catches your attention. It can be something you admire or respect about them. As you're meeting someone, there can be all different reasons for attraction. But the idea here is you might have an opportunity online or in person to make a connection where you sense there could be an opportunity to date. So then, ideally, you have an opportunity to have a little bit of an interaction. Hopefully, this man wants to take it to the next level by getting your phone number, calling you, asking you out. Perhaps you meet up for coffee or a drink or lunch or something for the first time. You're in this very early stages of just kind of meeting, and you're both having that opportunity to kind of sense if there might be something more to what seemed like an initial attraction or brief moment of connection. So this is kind of a fun moment. It's exciting when this happens. It's exciting to sense that there might be a new opportunity on the horizon. The key here though is that you don't yet have enough information to really know whether or not that initial chemistry or attraction or interest has the potential of going further, because the two of you don't yet know each other. So the landmine here is jumping too far, too fast, too soon. When you feel that attraction, sometimes the excitement can well up inside of you, especially if it's been a while since you've met someone, and you can start thinking, oh, could he be the one? Could this be the man for me? Does he like me? Does he feel attracted to me? And while it's okay to feel that excitement, it's important to stay balanced and recognize that you don't yet have enough information yet, and you don't want to jump too far ahead. You want to enjoy it for what it is, be in the moment, uh, be open to meeting someone, to exploring the attraction or whatever brought you together a little further. And if, in fact, the two of you make it past, let's say, a conversation or two, a date or two, and you start to feel like there could be a little something more to explore, then you can move into phase two, which is the uncommitted relationship. I just want to say, though, before we talk about the uncommitted relationship, that another landmine in in the first stage of dating, that attraction exploration state, is putting too much emphasis on the initial chemistry. And this is especially true for women, because for women, we can develop a deeper sense of attraction to a man sometimes if we get to know him, see who he is, we find things that we admire, respect, and appreciate about him. and we begin to sense that we feel comfortable or we feel good about him, then sometimes the attraction can grow. And this is not always the case. If you meet a man and you think he makes your skin crawl, that's not likely to happen. But we want to be careful about putting so much emphasis on the initial chemistry when we meet someone, that we don't rule them out if there is something more to discover about them. So if you sense there's more to discover about a man and he is asking you out again, you want to give him at least 2 or 3 dates to see if a little bit of attraction develops. So then, if that all happens, then the two of you can move into what we might call the uncommitted relationship, which simply means you're dating at least a little bit. Doesn't necessarily mean you're dating exclusively, but you're spending some time together and you're exploring what might be possible. You're exploring to see if the attraction grows, if the interest grows, if you find you have some common values, interests, if you find that you enjoy spending time together, if you find that you're having fun together, if you're finding that you feel good in the presence of this man. This is a really important question for you to be asking. If you're finding that he's showing up for you and showing interest and taking initiative, this is a sign that this may be a relationship that you want to continue to explore. And of course, there's a decision for both people to make. Both people have to want to kind of continue on this path. This is a key time, though. This uncommitted relationship time is a really important time. And sometimes there's a huge temptation to want to rush through this stage, to want to have that definition around it, to want to know that you're in a defined partnership or defined relationship or that you're boyfriend, girlfriend. There's temptation to want to have definition around it. But my big advice here, and one of the biggest landmines that I want to warn you about here, is to not rush through this stage, because this stage is where you're really finding out enough about each other that you discover whether or not this is someone that you really want to give your heart, attention, time, affection, and love to. And you're also seeing how he's showing up for you over a period of time. You need to see patterns. Anyone can have an off day or an off moment, but you need to see over a period of time whether he's consistent, whether he's intentional, whether he's there for you, whether he's putting effort and time and attention and focus on you before you give your all to him. In other words, you don't want to make someone else your priority in life while he's still thinking of you as an option. I read an article online by a man named Isaac Huss, it's Huss, and he said, this is the stage where you can determine whether a man is a contender for your love and affection, or a pretender, if he's just kind of pretending, kind of going through the motions. This is where you really get to find that out, and you really kind of get to test the waters of a relationship before you go all in and give a man your heart, your soul, your body, your love. So, my big advice here is to take your time in this stage. Make sure you approach this stage of dating from a place of curiosity. You're curious and you're paying attention and you're observing what's really going on. You're paying attention to any red flags that might come up, or any inconsistencies, or any feelings that are causing you doubt or concern. And this is not to say that you're specifically looking for reasons to reject a man. You're just really paying attention to how you're feeling, who this man is being, who you're being when you're with him. Important questions like, do I feel safe with him? Do I feel comfortable with him? Do I feel like I can be myself with him? Do I enjoy being with him? Do I feel like we bring out good things in each other? Do we have common interests and values? Do I admire, respect, and trust him? Because I'll tell you this, ladies, one of the key things for a woman to not only fall in love, but stay in love is feeling like she has respect for a man. Many times women lose their feelings of love when they lose respect for a man. So you really want to make sure this man has the heart and character qualities of someone that you can respect and trust and feel safe with over the long haul, as well as feel that love and affection, passion, and attraction with. And this stage is also really delicious with that uncertainty and that tension that comes from having things be undefined. There's a certain amount of excitement and there's a certain amount of unfulfilled possibility that's still there. This is the stuff that romantic movies are made of. So don't rush through it. Enjoy it. Bask in it. Be present in it. Don't try to force things. Relax, lean back, both literally and and in your mind, relax and enjoy and receive what a man has to give for you and see how he shows up for you. Allow the space and time for things to evolve and develop naturally and organically as they will. And don't be afraid of what you might find out. Don't be afraid of maybe finding out that this might not be the man you want to spend the rest of your life with. Be happy that you're finding out now and be happy to know that the truth sets you free. The truth will set you free. If this relationship is not meant to work out, the truth will set you free for the right man, for the next man, and you can take the delicious things that you learned and experienced from this relationship to pivot you into what comes next. So, this is such an important stage, and I don't want to be redundant here, but I just can't emphasize enough how important it is to allow yourself the space and time to allow this stage to take whatever time it needs to take for you to feel comfortable and confident that you are with a man that you really want to move into stage 3 with, which is a committed relationship. It's couplehood, it's boyfriend, girlfriend. It's deciding that the two of you want to spend time together and you want to be exclusive and you want to share more of your heart, your time, your energy, your lives together. You want to see if this relationship really can go the distance, or maybe you get engaged, or maybe you make a commitment to each other to be in partnership. And this is a delicious stage, and it sometimes feels like it's the end goal for so many women and for men. But we can rush these early stages and sometimes get here too fast, and then sometimes find out actually, this really isn't where we want to be, or this really isn't the person that we want to be with, which is why it's really important not to rush these first two, and especially that middle phase, to try to hurry and get definition around what a relationship might be. So many of you have probably heard me say that often what happens if we as women jump into a relationship too fast, too soon. We give our whole heart, time, and attention to a man before we really know him, maybe because there's really intense chemistry or passion. Then what happens is we often dive in too fast, too soon. We get into something a lot deeper and faster than we may have planned on. The chemistry takes over. Maybe you get physically involved with the man, sleep with him, have sex. The bonding hormones take over. And then over a period of time, the chemistry starts to fade. You start to see who this man really is. You find out maybe he's not someone that you really respect, admire, trust, or feel safe with, or he stops treating you as well once he's had sex with you and now feels like he's gotten what he wants from you. He stops being present for you in the attentive way that he was in the early stages. And then you can find yourself lying there in the smoke, dust, and ashes wondering what in the world happened and how this relationship that seemed to start out so strong and so passionate and with so much chemistry suddenly burned itself out just as fast as it felt like it started. That's one of the key landmines of rushing this process. So, what I want to invite you to do between now and our next coaching call is I want you to look back over your past relationships, your past dating relationships, and just consider, again, not from a place of judgment or criticism, but just consider how each of these stages went. You know, you may have only made it to the first or second stage in some of these stages, but ask yourself, what are the key things that you can learn or gain from those past experiences? What were some of your feelings as you were going through them? For example, did you have any red flags? If you ended up in one of those relationships where you crashed and burned, did you ignore red flags along the way? If so, what were they? Or did you just have some uncomfortable feelings? Or did you let chemistry take over? Or just kind of look back just to see what you can learn and gain from those. And then also look at what were the good things that you learned from those relationships, no matter how far along they went, that you can take as learning opportunities to help pivot you forward into the relationship of your dreams. So these are the three stages of dating: the attraction, exploration, the uncommitted relationship, and the committed relationship. And we've talked about some of the key landmines. We've talked about some of the key things to look for in each of those stages. Remember to slow that process down and allow yourself to really get to know the heart and character qualities of the man. Approach a new opportunity from a place of curiosity and observation. Look for patterns. Look to see if this is someone whose character is of high quality, someone that you can trust and feel safe with, someone that you can admire and respect. Look for how you feel. Look for how you feel when you're with this man. How does he make you feel? How do you feel when you're with him? See, it's not just about whether he likes you, it's whether you like him and whether you want to commit to him and whether you want things to progress. Sometimes we give away our power, ladies, to the man. We give away all the power for him to decide the pacing and how far the relationship goes, how fast. But in fact, you're in charge of this. You get to decide what's right and best and what feels good for you. And the right man will be willing to take those steps at your pace, and he'll be willing to wait for you until you feel ready, till you feel safe, till you feel comfortable to move to that next step. So I'm excited for you in your dating relationships to be empowered in this way, and I hope this allows you to move forward in the stages of dating with more confidence and clarity about some of the key things to look for and watch for in your dating relationships. Sending you lots of love, reminding you of your own value and of your own power. You deserve to be seated at the banquet feast of love with someone who is really there and fully present for you. So make sure before you give your heart and your love and your affection to a man that you allow these stages of dating to evolve to the point that you know that. Okay, bye bye for now. Lots of love.